Sarah, it's so exciting to speak with you. And this is such a smart update from the original story and the film adaptation. How was it getting to work within that same framework while, really crafting your own story and putting a new spin on it?
It was super exciting because I'm a fan, obviously, of the movie. I was a fan of the book, and it felt like the perfect time to be able to update that in, the world of social media, the world of presentational personalities versus, who we all are inside, and be able to use the 8 hours to really look at the characters and the effect on them that the premise has.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask about that because being a series, the characters have a lot more time to get fleshed out and their stories really developed. What did you find most rewarding about having, those 8 hours to really tell the story?
That's really what it was. It was, there's of course the mystery of who's knows what they did and who's after them. But there's also, I was able to, really look into the mysteries of who the characters are. And for me, that's adds a level of tension and more thriller than I even expected it to add. And I love characters. I love characters of this age, and that was super exciting for me to have the time to look into them and surprise people, hopefully, with who they really are.
I was so impressed with Madison and how she's able to portray these very different twin sisters. Can you talk about that story element and how it really gives the series a really unique flair to it?
Yeah, I think it's, ultimately the show is about identity, and I think Madison was so amazing as these twins, who obviously grew up together, went through the same traumatic things in their childhood as well as positive things, and are very different. And I think Madison just was so amazing in the subtleties she brought to each of them, and that neither one of them is all good and neither one of them is all bad, just like the rest of the characters. And I think she really brought that dichotomy that the rest of the characters have living inside of them to life.
I was surprised at just the level of gore, and there's a lot of nudity, and like it just kind of, I was like, okay, this is probably going to be a little bit tame, but no, you go all out. And can you speak to just the freedom of being on streaming and just being able, like, you can show dicks if you want to, you can do whatever you want. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean that is the freedom, and I think to do a tame version would be a disservice to you know to everybody. Actually, I think it's to do. I know what you did last summer without blood, without some gore. I think no one wants to see it. Maybe someone does, but I don't. And I think to do a story about young adults, I like to be able to have sex in it, and I like to be able to have behaviors that young adults are actually engaged in, and being able to show them making mistakes, being able to show um, an honest look at their lives.